everyone, so today I'm going to show you a really quick and easy recipe that our family just calls meat and potato crockpot. So the first thing I did was, since we're traveling, I went ahead and put one of the crockpot liners in. I think it's the Reynolds brand, I'm not 100% sure, but I did put a liner in. And the next thing I did was I took about a little less than 5 pounds potatoes, because I did take 5 baking potatoes out and set them aside for a meal that's a couple days from now. My personal preference is to kind of do some big pieces and some little pieces whenever I'm feeding little people. And since I have little people, I make them in little pieces. While I was cutting those up, I went ahead and took the pack of ground chuck that I bought at Food City you saw in the shopping trip video. And this has 2/3 of it. This has 1/3 of it. This one is just getting cooked, and then it's probably going to be frozen again once it's cooked for meals for next week. This is the pound that I'm going to be using. So now that I've got this cut up, I've got these cooking over here. I'm going to open this and I'm going to cut up these, and sometimes I will cut these like in half and then cut them up, and I may do that just for crockpot space to do it this time, or sometimes I literally would just cut them up this way. So here's what it looks like with the ground chuck and the Polska sausage and the potatoes all in here. You can see it doesn't quite fill it up. You can add more potatoes because they do cook down. And then another thing I forgot to mention is that sometimes with some crock pots, I have found with mine this is not a problem, but the people who showed me this make it in bulk, and they make it in a roaster pan, like my 18-quart roaster pan. And they found that whenever you cook it in like a roaster pan, or if like you're cooking this in an oven, you will want to add oil of some kind to it. So what I did this time to see if it helps a little bit with the meat cooking part is I just literally dumped in the whole pot of ground chuck as it was finished cooking, because there wasn't a whole lot of grease left on it once it had finished cooking. But it was just like a little bit in there, and I'm hoping maybe that little bit will help the meat to not get completely overdone and to help those potatoes really sink in some flavor. Okay, so these are the spices that I'm going to be using. So the first one is the Lowry seasoned salt, because it has the seasoning and the salt mixed all together, and it makes the potatoes so yummy. Black pepper. And then this one is going to be one that some of you may think is really strange, but it's ground nutmeg. So what we found whenever we started learning how to do medieval cooking for medieval recreation was in Scottish meat pies and like ground beef to bring out flavor before we had things like seasoned salt. They would use ground nutmeg in their ground meat, like their ground lamb's meat, their ground cow meat, things of that nature. So we started using it on ground beef, and I'll show you how much I put in here because it's not a lot. I'm going to see if I can do this left-handed so I can film with my right hand. So literally I do my normal, and because there's potatoes and because potatoes take a lot of salt, I just try to do like a really good layer of the salt on there. And then I will also bring more with me, because some people say that I don't even salt enough for potatoes. So I bring more with me because I think I'm light on salt, but for this I try to add a little bit extra and people still think. So I will bring the salt with this as well. And then same for the pepper is just, I'm trying not to shake the camera while I'm shaking this in. I don't think I'm doing very well at it. Alright, so pepper. And then the nutmeg. Okay, so literally, like, that's it. That's all I'm going to add. I mean, compared to the salt and pepper, just very little bit in there. Okay, so I've left it alone since I put everything in here, and it's been sitting for about 3 hours. And now we're going to check on it. And during that time, I was able to get dishes done. So, win-win. Alright, so see, there's where a piece of meat got a little bit more done than it should have. And I gotta be really careful not to break the liner when doing this. This looks really good. It's just quick and simple. Something easy to do. Alright. And that feels done. So awesome. So we got it done in time. So that's what it looks like whenever it's completely done. It looks like some of the meat on this side stuck a little bit. I will probably be getting a new crock pot soon, because I did not have near this much problem until my base accidentally got swapped out with somebody else's. But you do what you do. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's done. And then here is the rest of the food that I'm packing to go with it. Now, keep in mind, this is like a work thing. Everybody is bringing, or not a work thing, a meeting thing. So everybody is bringing food of different kinds. So this is not really meant to be like a full balanced meal. But we're bringing the meat and potatoes crock pot. And then it's really good with sauces on it. So I'm going to bring Heinz 57. And I forgot to buy some. So I'm just going to bring what's left of our honey mustard, a Thousand Island. And then a whole unopened bottle of ranch. And then I'm still going to bring the salt, the pepper, and the nutmeg. And then we are going to bring the garlic hummus. We are bringing pepper jack cheese, New York extra sharp cheddar, the Townhouse Focaccia chips, the Townhouse pita chips. We had to open this for lunch yesterday, today. Club crackers, grapes, these rainbow carrots that we picked up at Aldi's. Rebecca wants those. And that is it. And then they're bringing drinks and some other food and breads and things. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.